All right, I think we're good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Just had a little bit of an audio mishap there, so hopefully it sounds okay to you guys. For some reason, the microphone wasn't being detected, but hello, welcome. Today we are starting our reviews for season 3. Pretty cool stuff here. We're finally on to the next season after finishing up season 2 yesterday. We are here today with the first episode of season 3 entitled "The Surge." Hello, everybody joining today. For the drink, we have just another bottle of water. Taking it simple this go round. Did I make it in time? Yes, you did. We are just getting started here today with our review of The Surge. Pretty good episode, all things considered. But before we get started with the actual stream itself, here is the information that we have just in case you guys are joining us here for the first time. We stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. Most of the time, the episode review does not take up the entirety of the stream, so we'll jump into a Q&A later on in the stream. And obviously, we will update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream for whatever reason, I will let you guys know. So let's go ahead and get to it. Again, talking about season 3 today. Rebooted, I'm really excited because Rebooted is one of my favorite seasons. Not my most favorite, but it's up there in terms of some of my favorites. Easily makes it into my top 5 seasons for sure. So, and I know a lot of you guys are excited as well. And yes, this season is very short, only 8 episodes under its belt. So if everything goes well, we should be done next week. Yeah, as stated in the chat, next Thursday. All right, good stuff. Yeah, if everything goes as planned, then if we do streams every single day, then by next Thursday we should be on to the next season already. It seems kind of surreal. It kind of seems like we took a very long time to get through season 2 for whatever reason. I don't know why that felt so long, but we're here with Rebooted today, and every single season that follows now will be a little shorter than the first couple of seasons. They're not 13 episodes anymore. Rebooted is 8, and then we basically get 10 all the way through, basically until we get done. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it here. Let's run the slideshow in the background. I'm going to take a sip of my water. I'm also kind of little sick today. I got a little bit of a cold going on, so hopefully you guys don't mind that. But let's go ahead and get to it here. We're going to run through the plot, then we'll talk about some good stuff, some bad stuff, and then at the end of the episode review, we will give the episode a score out of 10. So how does the first episode of Season 3 fare against the other Ninjago episodes that we've reviewed so far? Let's go ahead and get to it. Spoiler alert, it's actually pretty good. So this episode basically picks up after the final battle. It's been some time since then, and the ninja have since taken up jobs as teachers at the new Master Wu Academy, which is just Darkly's boarding school, just revamped and kind of revised a little bit to be Master Wu's Academy. So the ninja are all teachers there. It's been a very long time since the final battle. Not quite sure how long, but it's been a fair amount of time. Dr. Julian has also passed away, very sad, and all of the ninja, again, are no longer ninja except for Lloyd, who continues to fly around accepting awards for his role in the final battle. So as teachers, the ninja kind of, I guess, deal with the shenanigans of the students on a daily basis, so that's fun. The actual students themselves aren't that great, but they try to do what they can. They try to make the most of their teaching job, which I guess is anything. It's pretty much what every teacher does. The ninja basically get invited to New Ninjago City, and of course they decide to make it a field trip. After the final battle went down, Ninjago City got completely revamped by a man named Cyrus Borg, and now it's known as New Ninjago City. Has a bunch of new technological advancements and all that kind of stuff, so it's very, very like technologically advanced. So the ninja get a chance to go there. They have not been to the city since the final battle, so they're finally going there for the first time now, and of course they bring the class as a field trip. They arrive at the city, and immediately there's just like a lot that throws them off. The city is nowhere near like what it was earlier, so kind of interesting considering how the ninja have been gone for so long. It's kind of given us like a rough time frame, I guess, because it took them a while to rebuild the cities. So I think it's safe to say that it's been at least a year since the final battle went down. So excuse me a second, taking a sip of my water. I thought Cyrus was the main bad guy as soon as I saw him. Yeah, I was actually rewatching this episode yesterday with my roommate in the room as well, and she kind of commented on that too, talking about how she thought Cyrus Borg was the bad guy, because they do kind of, I guess, make him seem like he could be the villain, but in all actuality, he is, I guess, being controlled by the Overlord. We'll get more into that later on. But anyway, they get to Borg Tower, they enter in, and they meet Pixel, who's going to be one of the main characters going forward throughout the entire rest of the series. But this is her very first appearance in this episode, and she immediately kind of gets a little bit of a connection with Zane right off the bat. Of course, they are both robots, both Nindroids, so obviously they would have a little bit of a connection. Zane actually feels something. Pixel is just kind of running by the numbers, which is kind of unfortunate, but Pixel does point out a couple of flaws about Zane's design, which is a little, I guess, a little bit of foreshadowing towards the end of the season, but overall they do have a little bit of a connection, so that's awesome. Unfortunately, the moment is cut short when Borg requests to meet the ninja all the way on the 100th floor. So the ninja go to see Borg while Wu and Nia take the kids on kind of like a little bit of a field trip of sorts throughout the Borg Industries tower. Nia actually goes ahead and sets up a perfect match thing, which of course will, I guess, play into the idea of the love triangle later on in this season, as her perfect match is revealed to be Cole. So yeah, well, I think we're dropping frames here. That's fun. How's the stream going for you guys? It seems to me like we like we might be lagging a little bit. So yeah, lagging. All right, fair enough. Um, yeah, it says we've dropped a few frames on my end. I have to apologize for the internet as of late. It's been kind of I guess spotty lately, especially yesterday, but I think we're fine right now, so let's go ahead and continue on with it. So anyway, the ninja go ahead and meet Borg on the 100th floor after Nia's perfect match is revealed to be Cole. That'll set it for the love triangle later on, and Borg immediately is acting a little suspicious, and this is kind of where I guess the suspense is risen a little bit for the ninja, because they don't really trust Borg all that much, as he is kind of acting a little strange, and he gives the ninja a gift, which of course is a statue of himself, much to the dismay of everyone. So that's fun. But the ninja take it into the elevator, but not before Borg kind of pulls Kai aside and tells him that, hey, protect them with your lives is very important. Kai, of course, doesn't know what he's talking about. For all he knows, Borg is kind of like kind of off his rocker a little bit. But all things considered, it's fine. The ninja enter the elevator and they drop the solid gold statue of Borg, and inside they find different, I guess, new ninja suits and the techno blades, which are going to be the main, I guess, MacGuffin, if you will, of the first couple of episodes, the main ninja weapon. So the Technoblades are really interesting, and unfortunately for them, the elevator kind of freaks out at the sight of the Technoblades and it tries to drop the ninja. The ninjas survive, of course, and they are kind of, I guess, taken back by this. They don't really know what's going on, and they realize that, oh, since they're in danger, the students must be as well. And sure enough, the entire facility is kind of on lockdown now. Pixel kind of goes red and tries to attack Nia's group, so that's not fun. But overall, the ninja are basically now trying to be forced out of retirement because something weird is going on here. We actually get an instance of the Overlord talking to Cyrus Borg, and overall, it's just not a good situation. The Overlord is back, and he is not happy with Borg, I guess, trying to give the ninja the Technoblades, which of course are the only thing that can stop him here. So the ninja basically try to fight back. They equip their new ninja suits as well as the Technoblades and try their best. Unfortunately, they don't know how the Technoblades really work, so they try to fight, but they can't really fight all that much. So yeah, that's something. They need to get used to the blades themselves. They are attacked by a few security mechs, and eventually Zane has a hunch, and he figures out how the Technoblades work. He attacks a hovercopter, which is of course an unmanned, I guess, droned vehicle programmed by the Overlord at this point, and he hacks it into his own ninja copter. So the Technoblades can hack into anything basically, and that's the gimmick for them. So it's a pretty cool weapon, all things considered, to hack vehicles and I guess mechs to create your own vehicles and mechs. That's awesome. I've always kind of really liked the Technoblades in that way, and I feel like this episode set them up very well. The ninja also do emerge from the building just in time as Nia kind of gets picked up as well. So they rescue everybody, regroup down on the ground, and unfortunately, the city is kind of under attack now by all these unmanned vehicles. So the ninja have to go ahead and fight them off. Nia rushes back to the school to try to get Lloyd to come in as backup, while the ninja basically play hero in the city after they evacuate everybody, of course. So they split up and they go into action. Kai gets the Kai fighter, which is a pretty cool vehicle for Kai. Really enjoy that scene of Kai actually hacking it, and it's this scene where we get a little bit more exposition about Borg and the Overlord and his or their relationship together. The Overlord was a virus laying dormant in the system the entire time after the new Borg tower was kind of built in the exact spot where the Overlord was destroyed. So kind of a mistake on Borg's end, but overall it's just something that they have to deal with at this point. Down on the ground, Cole and Jay fight the best that they can. They both hack into a vehicle as well. Jay gets the Thunder Raider, and Cole gets the mech that goes on the back of the Thunder Raider. So they'll eventually merge their vehicles later on in the episode. But they fight back, of course. They get used to their techno blades. Zane uses the Ninja Copter to blow up a couple of vehicles, and it does kind of seem like they're overwhelmed until the actual sky goes gold and Lloyd arrives finally. So Lloyd arrives. He's the Golden Ninja still, and he jumps on the scene, of course. And now they have a full team altogether. It's this time when the Overlord finally reveals himself and states that he's after Lloyd's golden power. So immediately bringing Lloyd into the battle was not a good idea. So the new objective is to get the Technoblades and Lloyd out of the city before the Overlord can even have a chance to try to steal Lloyd's power, which is going to be the main, I guess, drive of the Overlord throughout this season. So the ninja basically have a plan. Wu has a plan that he can actually utilize. So they decide to go with that plan, and the plan gets carried out pretty perfectly, all things considered. Wu is kind of, I guess, targeted by the system for apparently having the Technoblades. Fortunately for the ninja, he does not. But unfortunately for the ninja, Wu is captured at this point, while the ninja need to make an escape. So they plan to return to the city at some point, but not today. The city has kind of been overrun by the Overlord's new Nindroid army, which of course was being created by Pixel, and overall Wu's captured, the ninja need to get away, and it's pretty much a defeat for the ninja at the end of the day, and also Borg is kind of captured as well and turned into, I guess, this new Overborg type character. It's basically Cyrus Borg possessed, so that's something. I guess Cyrus Borg was just a villain after all, but he's actually under the Overlord's control, so it's not like it's his fault. But overall, that's where the episode ends. Pixel beginning production of the Nindroid army after the ninja had escaped the city, and in my opinion, it's a pretty good setup to the actual season 3 story at hand. So that's going to do it for the plot. In terms of some good things, I do have a lot to say about this episode. First of all, I do think this is one of the best season openers of all time. I think that the actual season 3 premiere, the actual opening, is one of the better ones that we've seen throughout any season. It sets up the story really well. It adds, I guess, some context as to where the ninja have been this whole time, and just overall, it is a pretty solid, I guess, beginner episode to this season. I also need to touch on Borg and the Overlord and their relationship. Obviously, the Overlord is kind of going to be the main bad guy this time, which is kind of a little repetitive from the last season, but I'm not complaining. I feel like the Overlord was kind of squeezed into the last couple of episodes last season, so it's nice to see him back this time, so that's fun. And overall, his relationship with Borg is kind of, overwhelming for Borg, but he does need to use him in that way. So I feel bad for Cyrus Borg, but just overall, he's a pretty good character, and I can't wait to see more of what he does in the future of the season. He will get better, don't worry. The ninja are also introduced in this episode again with their new suits and their techno blades, and I already talked about the Technoblades before. I said that they were pretty good weapons. In terms of the actual suits themselves, I'm not a big fan of the rebooted suits. They're not my favorite thing ever. I feel like some of them are a little too cluttered, and for some reason, the actual suits in the actual show don't give the ninja gloves, which is kind of weird. They do get their gloves later on, but the actual Techno robes, as they are, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think that they could be improved a little bit more, but overall, they're okay suits. They do what they need to do. They block the Overlord system, so that's good. Also, I do need to talk about the Zane and Pixel setup in this episode. Zane and Pixel are kind of set up to be a thing. Zane and Pixel have a little bit of a connection here, so overall, I thought that was pretty good. It's also set up really well. Also, the whole love triangle was set up too. This episode kind of sets up a lot of stuff, especially as I mentioned previously, the love triangle between Jay, Cole, and Nia. That'll be explained later in future episodes, but as of right now, we only got a brief little instance of what that could look like. So, also in terms of something that's not set up, the actual battle in the city is amazing. I love the actual use of the Technoblades. I love all the battles overall. Overall, that was a really good battle, all things considered, in the city. Lots of explosions, really fast-paced. It reminded me of something that I would see in like a video game, for instance, which I guess is kind of appropriate considering how techy this season is. But overall, I really enjoyed that fight scene. It just had a really awesome, unique feel to it that will carry through towards the rest of the season. My only issues with this episode are, for one, it was kind of a slow start. It does set up a lot of interesting things, but the episode in general is kind of slow, especially in the first few minutes. It feels like it takes the ninja forever to get to the new Ninjago city, which I guess is kind of the point. They are kind of reluctant to get to the city, I guess, after the final battle went down. But overall, the actual start of this episode was a little slow, and also I didn't really care for Lloyd's involvement in this episode, if we're being honest. Lloyd kind of shows up and does nothing, which is kind of weird because he is the golden ninja. But then again, what can he really do? The golden power doesn't really do anything against the Nindroids or the robot army, and that's kind of the point there. His golden power is pretty much useless this season. So this episode kind of didn't really utilize Lloyd all that much. He kind of showed up, and then immediately the plan kind of reversed where they need to get Lloyd out of the city. So I wasn't really such a big fan of that, but I understand why they did it. But it just kind of felt a little, I guess, haphazardly, I guess, implied into the episode, if that makes sense. The actual plan was to bring Lloyd in for backup. He joins for backup, and now the plan has switched to get Lloyd out of the city. So just kind of weird overall. But overall, this episode's pretty good, I'd say. Easily one of the best season premieres of all time. Just had a few issues with it, though, that kind of marked down the score a little bit. But for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and give the episode a 9 out of 10. Pretty good episode, all things considered. I see a few of you guys already putting episodes in, or actual scores in the chat. Thank you very much for that. Let's see what the rest of you guys have going on for scores. I would like to see what you guys think about this episode as I take a sip of my water. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, couple 9s, couple 10s, couple 7s. Overall, I'd say this episode was pretty good. I feel like a lot of you guys feel the same way. I remember seeing this episode as a kid and just being kind of, obsessed with it. This episode was kind of like the big re-entry into Ninjago, and I think it did a very good job in setting up what it needed to. So overall, I don't think it's that terrible of an episode. Ultra Dragon was mentioned for the last time on the bus. Yeah, the Ultra Dragon and the Ultrasonic Raider, which will not be in any more episodes moving forward until, Day of the Departed and, some of the Legacy shorts and stuff like that, where the Ultra Stealth Raider and the new Ultra Dragon come in. So that's pretty much going to do it for the score. Just overall, that was my review on The Surge. Tomorrow we will talk about The Art of the Silent Fist, which is, of course, the next episode in the Season 3 story. So pretty good start, I'd say. Definitely a good episode, all things considered. But now the review is over, and we still have a lot of time left in the stream. So let's jump over to the questions and the answers. Obviously, the season 3 reviews are going to go super quick. As stated earlier, if everything goes as planned, we can be done by next week with season 3, which is kind of weird. It kind of doesn't seem real, especially after many 13 episode seasons. So I feel like after season 1 and 2, that was kind of the big, I guess, hill there. But after we got over that, we're fine now. So let's go ahead and get started with pictures here. Let's just jump into season 11 right away. We can change it later on. Never trust a snake or never trust a human. I prefer the episode Never Trust a Snake. Never Trust a Human is good for backstory, but I don't know. Overall, there's just something about that episode that's kind of weird to me still. But overall, let's just get some questions in the chat. How was your guys' day so far? Mine's been good. I woke up, took a shower, and hopped on the stream. So I've legit done nothing today aside from this stream. There was a video uploaded earlier today, but that was already made and scheduled up yesterday. So usually with my videos, I make them the day prior. So later on after the stream, I will be making videos for tomorrow. So all the videos that you'll see up today on the channel were made yesterday, or even the day before in some cases. So, but hopefully you guys are good for today. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. Perfect. Have to go to work in an hour and 15 minutes. Ooh, yeah, I'm already working. I work from like whenever I get up in the morning to whenever I get done with videos. Usually that's about a 6 to 7 hour process during every day. So hopefully work isn't too terrible for you guys. If you have work, hopefully school's not too terrible for you guys. Oh, and Waffle's here too. Waffle, one of my kitties is up on the desk, stepping on the notes. That's fun. But yeah, let's answer some questions. Did I ever watch My Hero Academia? Yes, I did. I'm all caught up with the anime and the manga. Pretty good stuff. I get to stay in the home. Yeah, I suppose I get to stay in my house unless I need to go outside and get mail or take out garbage or something. Because I'm kind of in charge of like at-home stuff too, like at-home chores and whatnot, like dishes and stuff. So that's fun. But overall, I enjoy what I do. My only issue is that the internet has been kind of spotty last couple of days, so hopefully this stream doesn't lag anymore this go around. But yeah, Waffles here. Can I make a video about the February thing on the catalog? That is coming up. I will be making that very soon. It's on the schedule. Some people are wondering about the release date for the season 14 and new legacy sets. Some people, I guess, are under the assumption that they're still coming out in January, but given the new information that came out with the recent catalog for the new Ninjago stuff, it seems to me that we are getting Legacy in February and the Season 14 stuff in March, which is kind of unfortunate, but um, yeah, I guess that's just what we're going to have to go off of. But yeah, I will be doing a video of that very soon, so stay tuned for that. Probably tomorrow or the next day, judging from how my uploads usually go. Um, do I know who MatPat is? Yeah, I know who MatPat is. I don't watch him, but I know of him. What catalog? There was a recent catalog that came out for Ninjago, or not even for Ninjago. It was just for like the new upcoming Lego stuff, and they had some Ninjago stuff in there, and the actual release dates on there, according to the catalog, was February for the Legacy stuff, and then March for the Season 14 stuff. So I'm not sure what country that's in. I'm not sure if that applies to every country, and maybe just, excluding a few. I'm not so sure exactly what is the involvement there. But I would like to see the Legacy stuff come out in January because that would be the 10th anniversary of Ninjago. But that's not up to me. I'm not up to. I don't work for Lego. I don't work in that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, I have no control over that. So I would like to. That could be fun. My dream is to be a writer for Ninjago. That could be fun. So. Do I think Ninjago will ever get a UCS set like Star Wars? I would like to see them get like some type of Ultimate Collector series. We've had some like larger Ninjago sets in the past, such as the Ninjago City sets and the Temple of Jitsu, but I'm not so sure if those count as UCS sets necessarily. I would kind of like to see them get the same treatment as Star Wars though, so I hope that we get that eventually. Who would win Golden Lloyd or Superman? I'm not familiar with Superman, so I'm going to say Golden Lloyd. Today's my birthday. Well, happy birthday. We got a couple of birthdays in the chat today, so happy birthday if it's your birthday. Do I think the newer animation is getting better since season 11, more like what it was in season 8 to 10? I feel like for the most part, the newer animation does what it can. I don't think it's up to the standards of seasons 8 through 10 yet, so unfortunately, that's probably the best that Ninjago's ever looked. But the newer animation isn't all that bad either. I just don't think it holds up to what seasons 8, 9, and 10 had for animation, because their animation was pretty good, and I have a feeling that just has to do with the increase of the budget for this season. So, but I hope that eventually we can actually match that same type of animation. So, apologies if I sound a little groggy today. I'm a little tired, so yeah, those eyes freak me out. Yeah, the newer eyes from the newer. I have a feeling that they kind of will stop that eventually. Maybe they'll try to go back to what Ninjago used to be, but I don't know. Just overall, I feel like season 11 onward in terms of animation is pretty good in its own way, but overall, I feel like the best that Ninjago has ever looked was in seasons 8, 9, and 10. So that's just my personal opinion, but overall, I feel like the newer animation does a lot on its own, though. So yeah, let's switch over to season 13 images. Will there be an episode review on the 10th anniversary? For the 10th anniversary of Ninjago, in terms of like the actual date, I am planning on doing a different type of live stream that day. I'm not so sure what weekday or what day of the week that kind of lands on though, but either way, we will be doing a live stream that day. My plan right now is to do a 10-hour live stream. For 10 years, do 10 hours, but obviously it's not going to be like a Q&A the entire time because that would just be boring and repetitive. But instead, what I want to do is kind of, I guess, sprinkle in a few other segments throughout, I guess, the stream as well in order to make something fun. Maybe we could do like some trivia games or something like that with prizes, maybe, or even we could, talk about some episodes a little bit, maybe watch some episodes together if I eventually figure out how to do that. But yeah, I am talking about, I am planning on doing a 10-hour live stream for the 10-year anniversary because why not? But yeah, I'm just kind of toying with ideas right now. We still have like a little over a month until the actual date, so um, hopefully we can get some plans going. Right now, I'm just kind of toying with a couple of ideas, but I thought maybe like trivia. I thought that could be fun. Maybe like every hour we do like a Ninjago quiz based on a different season or something, and maybe the winner could get a prize or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm just kind of toying with a few ideas right now. Who's my favorite character and why? In terms of the ninja, and probably my favorite character overall, I'd say Cole, just because I relate to him the most, I'd say. He's kind of, kind of like the older kind of brother to the ninja, I guess. He's kind of like the oldest of the group, I've always imagined, in terms of maturity level. I know that technically Zane is the oldest, but in terms of maturity, I always thought that Cole was kind of the oldest in that way. And I kind of like him a little bit for that. I kind of respect him. So just overall, I kind of like Cole, just because I relate to him a little more. Play Among Us? No, I don't really play Among Us. Isn't Among Us kind of dead right now? I haven't really seen a lot for that on Twitter lately, so. Will there be a stream on Christmas Eve? I have not finalized the actual Christmas schedule yet. I am going to I am going to be visiting my family for Christmas, so I don't really know what the actual schedule will look like for that. I'm not so sure what day I'm going to go visit them, so I will let you guys know as soon as I get more information. There probably will not be a stream on Christmas Eve or Christmas, so just throwing that out there for you guys. Don't really expect to stream those 2 days, so. There will probably still be uploads those days, but probably not streams because I'll probably be traveling. So, season 11 Fire Chapter, Day of the Departed. I have to go with the Fire Chapter. That's the best of the two, in my opinion. Day of the Departed is probably my least favorite thing about Ninjago. So, nothing else has really been worse than that so far, in my opinion. So, and I don't think anything will. If we're being honest, I feel like season 14 isn't going to be terrible either. So, I feel like Day of the Departed will always be my least favorite thing. Did we finish episode 1 of season 3? Yep, we got done with that review already, and now we're just doing Q&A for the rest of the stream, just answering some casual questions while I kind of sit and try to, drink some water, stay hydrated a little bit. Do I buy Lego City sets? I did back in the day. I was really into Lego City Police. I had the police station. I had all the different vehicles and such around the 2011 era. That was pretty much when I was big into Lego, and that's also when Ninjago first came out. So that's fun. But not so much these days. Nowadays, I don't really have another Lego theme that I buy from besides Ninjago. So Ninjago is pretty much my only entry into Lego at this point. There's not a whole lot else in the Lego scene that kind of appeals to me. There have been themes in the past that I've connected with, such as Hero Factory and Bionicle, but since neither of those are around anymore, I just kind of do Ninjago, and that's about it. It's kind of unfortunate. So, do I like the old Ninjago intro or do I like the old Ninjago intro or the old one? I mean, do you mean like the new one? Sorry about that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoy all the Ninjago intros. I feel like the newer style of intro is kind of unique for the newer Ninjago seasons. It's not like a whole lot. It's not like a whole lot offends me about the newer seasons, if you will, but I still kind of enjoy the classic older feel of the older intros, though, if that makes sense, where we got every ninja kind of introduced name by name. That used to be fun. But overall, in the newer generations of Ninjago episodes, it's not terrible. So, Elemental Master of Vengestone, very well could be. I'm not sure if Vengestone's going to be an element or not, but maybe that's the final element. Who really knows? um, but maybe that could be introduced. What if Family Guy did a crossover with Ninjago? I feel like that would be that'd be the day that the world explodes. So. What if Zane and Echo Zane are brothers? They are. Echo Zane is kind of like the adopted, or not the adopted brother, but kind of like the next step, if you will, for Zane. Because after Zane was kind of presumably lost forever, Dr. Julian just kind of sat around in the lighthouse and built a new Zane. Of course, that being Echo Zane with less resources and less appeal. So I guess you could say that they are brothers in that way. But of course, Nindroid biology, I'm not so sure if they are biological. Do I think the buyer will appear in the next 2 seasons, or are they going to extend that arc? I am not sure. According to some of the Ninjago heads on Twitter, they do like to play a long game, was the quote that they provided when they talk about Vengestone, so I have a feeling that they might be playing this out for a couple of seasons. I kind of am expecting that. So I don't think the main bad guy in season 14 or anything like that, what is his name, like Chief Mammotus, I don't think he's going to be the Vengestone buyer. If he is, that would be surprising, but overall, I feel like they're going to extend that out for a few more seasons. So now that we have a little bit more evidence, I'm kind of leaning more towards that possibility. As I sip the water. Does Kai have a season? Yeah, he's got a couple. He technically has the first, I guess, pilot season, if you will. Then technically he's the main character of season 4, and then he has the fire chapter as well. He also shares season 7 with his sister, so I guess he has a couple of seasons here and there. So yeah, they could be. Yeah, I'd say Zane and Echo Zane are technically brothers. Yeah, but I don't know. Echo Zane just kind of feels like the lesser Zane. He kind of feels like, well, which in a way he is. I mean, Echo Zane was kind of built out of spare parts to try to replicate Zane. So I think that's a cool concept, though. I'm kind of disappointed that Echo Zane hasn't returned in the series. He almost did. He was almost Mr. E in Sons of Garmadon, but of course they scrapped that idea, scrapped that storyline. But I think he should still appear someday. So kind of hoping for that at some point. What do I really want to happen in Ninjago? In terms of what I really want to see happen in Ninjago, I'd like to see kind of like a huge time skip. I think it'd be awesome if we get like a time skip in like a future season where the ninja are all kind of older. Maybe they're a little bit grizzled, and maybe there's like a new generation of ninja that they are training. I feel like that's a really cool concept for a story, but I kind of want to see that towards the end of Ninjago's run, if that makes sense. I don't think it would make very much sense to introduce it and then still keep going with the actual storyline. I feel like maybe they should save that for like the final arc, if you will. But I feel like that's a really good idea, in my own opinion, of course. How can Pixel have dreams if she's a robot? Not so sure. Probably the same way that Zane can have dreams if he's a Nindroid. Of course, I kind of pass it off as visions for Zane. So maybe the visions are the same for Pixel. Maybe they're not dreams as much as they are visions. But then again, she was sleeping, so who knows? I don't write Ninjago. um, should the Overlord Dragon have been a UCS set? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are expecting a little bit more from the Overlord Dragon. I think the Overlord Dragon that we got is fine. I feel like that's a perfectly fine Golden Dragon, or not Golden Dragon, sorry. That's a perfectly fine Ninjago Dragon to introduce for Legacy. The Overlord Dragon as it is, I don't feel like it's too small. I don't feel like it's too big. I think it's the right amount of, I think it's the right size. It kind of scales well with the Legacy Golden Dragon. I'm not so sure what people were expecting with that. I personally think it's a very good set. So I don't think it should have been a UCS set. Um, Probably would have made it a little too big, in my opinion. A couple people complain about the colors on it too. I've seen a few folks complain about like the dark blue on there, but I don't think the dark blue is that bad. If you look at the actual Overlord Dragon, he does look kind of darkish bluish, so I don't think that's a terrible design for him. So, but overall, I really enjoy the new Overlord Dragon. It's going to be something that I pick up day one. So hopefully these sets come out in January. I'm really hoping that they do. Unfortunately, it's kind of looking like they're going to be a February release now. So I'm not so sure if that's just an issue with Lego production on account of the pandemic. I'm not so sure about that. But if it is, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not so sure how this pandemic is kind of affecting Lego production. So. Do I think that the Chief in season 14 is a side villain because Lloyd is not in the set with the Chief? I don't think so. I feel like out of all of the villains that we've seen throughout the season 14 sets, I feel like Chief Mammotus is going to be the main big bad guy. He might be, I guess, the sidekick to another villain, but we haven't really seen any other villains in the sets besides him and some of his minions. So I feel like he's the main bad guy this go round, unless they introduce like another villain later on, or they kind of have a villain that's not in the sets, which I don't know why you do that, but I don't know. I feel like the Chief Mammotus guy, I think he is going to be the main bad guy. I don't think he's going to be kind of like a side villain or anything like that. I think he's like the main villain this go round. So, yeah. Do you think there is an elemental master of space? I've always thought that could be a really cool idea to introduce like a space master or a cosmic master or something like that. Oh, we have another kitty here. Is that Blaze? Usually Blaze doesn't come in here for the streams. So now we have two kitties in here. How about that? We're only missing one and then we have the full set. Moro come back? Yeah, Moro could come back if he really wanted to. Right now, I think he's in the departed realm, but they could always pluck him back out of there somehow. So I feel like Moro has an opportunity to come back eventually, and maybe be a new ally to the ninja. I've always thought that would have been kind of cool. I think Moro should have been a ninja, for being honest. He could have been the gray ninja before Nia was, if that makes sense. So I've always thought Moro could be the gray ninja master of wind. That'd be cool. Yeah, we got two streaming buddies here today. It's awesome. I think Blaze left already, though. He kind of came in and saw that I was talking to him, and he's like, nope, goodbye. Yeah, Blaze is kind of independent. He really doesn't like attention. Maybe the Overlord will return, influencing the Chief. Maybe. Could very well be. I feel like in Season 14, though, Chief Mammotus is just going to be the only main threat. We don't know a whole lot about him yet, though. I will be making a few videos down the line talking about what he could potentially be doing, but we don't know a whole lot about him yet. I think his design's kind of interesting, though. I like the big kind of crab crown thing on his head. That's kind of fun. I'm not so sure if he's supposed to be like a water elemental user, because he has like a lightning staff as well, so maybe he'll have some type of lightning power. Who's to say? Not so sure yet. Am I glad that LEGO are posting episodes in English, full Ninjago episodes? Yeah, they help out with stream a little bit. I think they got seasons 1 and 2 right now, so I don't really have to bother signing into Netflix to watch the Ninjago episodes. I can just watch them on YouTube. Now, of course, since we're on season 3, I do have to do that, but it's just a quick extra step. But it was just kind of always super convenient going onto YouTube and watching the episodes on there, because I'm on the same tab anyway, so it's kind of easy. But just overall, I don't know. I don't mind going to Netflix, and I hope that LEGO eventually releases all of the episodes in English. That could be really fun. It would certainly make a lot of Ninjago viewers very happy, I'd say, if all the episodes were available to watch on YouTube in English. That'd be like a dream come true for, I feel like, a lot of you guys. Because a lot of folks don't have access to like Netflix and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, no, I could definitely see that as like an influence towards the newer Ninjago stuff, like the type of like the kind of pirates islander. Yeah, yeah. I feel like overall the new Ninjago season is kind of taking inspiration from a lot of the old pirate themes in terms of like the actual island setup. So I feel like it's going to be a very interesting season. It's kind of unique for Ninjago, I'd say, but I hope they don't like, I guess, overshadow it with the new Legacy stuff, because already we only have 4 new Season 14 sets, which is kind of weird. But they might add more later on. Who's to say? Is Pythor a good villain? He's a decent villain, yeah. I feel like Pythor was a good villain when he was around. Right now, I'd say he's more of like a middleman, kind of like a nomad type character. I don't think he belongs to either side. There are a few villains that kind of fall into that category, but yeah, he was a decent villain when he was a villain, and we will see him again in Season 3, which I'm excited for. So we haven't really talked about Pythor in a fair minute, so it's going to be nice to see him back. If you could have one Ninjago set that's a vehicle, what would it be? Um, like just a vehicle, just in general, like any type of Ninjago vehicle. They should make a set for Garmadon's mech from season 2, like the 4-armed mech that he fought against the Earth Driller in. They should make that. If I were to get a set based off a vehicle, I'd like that. At least a set that we don't have yet. What do I think happened to the Ultra Dragon? The Ultra Dragon is deceased. It was killed by the Iron Baron and his dragon hunters and was used as a chair. So rest in peace, Ultra Dragon. You will be missed. I feel like that's a very dark thing. So I don't know. Plot for season 14. I feel like well, based on what we have so far, based on the plethora of, I guess, information that we have from books and the sets and the actual, I guess, rumored, I guess, storyline for the show that we've been getting, I feel like what's going to be happening is Lloyd and Nia kind of accompany a group of tourists to an island, led by a couple of people such as Clutch Powers, maybe Cyrus Borg, just based on what we have from some new books that are coming out, and maybe something bad happens on the island and the other ninja need to come in as backup. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the plot. That's what I'm going with right now until we get an actual official thing. Could be wrong about that, but in terms of like different books that we've received so far for season 14, I have a feeling that that's going to be at least a general plot, but that could always be changed. Obviously, it's not so much a confirmation as much as it is just my own theory. The new Ultra Dragon is so ugly. I like the older one. I kind of agree. There's not really an Ultra Dragon set that I think is 100% perfect yet, but I do kind of prefer the original one. I'm not a big fan of the new heads on the newer Legacy Ultra Dragon. Not really my thing. Since Skylar absorbed all the ninja's powers, does that mean she has golden power? I don't think so. I feel like golden power can't be transferred like that. I feel like golden power is kind of powerful and sacred in that regard, and I don't think it can be transferred easily from one person to the next, especially with the power of Amber, which is kind of a secondary element. But then again, Skylar did have, I guess, some type of control over Garmadon's power, but it was only for a brief period of time before the power actually took her over. So I doubt that she could absorb golden power. Did you read the mini comics with the Upley? They called Adam Charlie. How dare they? No, Adam's the best of the Upley, and no, I have not read those comics. I've kind of stayed clear of anything that has to do with the Uply or the Lowly or whatever they call themselves now. They're not my favorite characters in season 13. They're definitely some of the weaker ones in my own opinion. So no, I have not read those comics to answer your question. But how dare they get Adam's name wrong? Um, would like to see more of the Oni and Dragon realms, or do you think they should close that? I feel like for the time being, that realm has served its purpose. We kind of got his backstory in season 8, and then in season 9 we were actually there. And I feel like overall, spending an entire season in that realm was enough for me. So I feel like that realm overall is probably done in terms of story. We also saw it again in March of the Oni. So um, but yeah, overall, that's not like my least favorite realm or anything. It's just something that I feel like it's kind of done already. Yeah, I did read the ones with Lily, the actual comic with Lily in it. I thought that comic was pretty interesting. Kind of gave Lily an actual backstory, so that's nice. What's better, Nia as a samurai or Nia as the water ninja? I feel like as the water ninja, she could actually, I guess, gain a little bit more of her own identity. As Samurai X, she definitely had her own identity, but I feel like it was kind of restricting her in several ways. So I'm glad that they went ahead and made her a ninja. That could be fun. Or that was fun, actually. Not that could be fun. She's been a ninja for years now. But I feel like being a ninja kind of suits her a little better than her being a samurai. I feel like Pixel definitely deserved the Samurai X title a little more. So might miss tomorrow. Is it okay? Yeah, of course. If there's ever a day where you guys can't like join in the stream, don't feel too bad. Obviously, we're going to be streaming as much as we can, and if there's ever a day where you guys can't join the actual live stream, no worries whatsoever. I know we have a couple of regulars in here every so often, so yeah, if there's ever a day where you guys can't join, definitely don't feel bad. If you guys want to watch the streams after the actual live stream is done, they will be uploaded to my channel in case you guys ever miss a stream and you want to go ahead and rewatch it just to see what I have to say about an episode. They are all up on the channel, so if you ever miss a stream, don't worry. It's always going to be here. So, yeah, it's not like I'm requiring everybody to join in the stream or anything like that. Lots of guinea pigs in the chat. I don't have a guinea pig. I never was allowed to get one when I was younger because my mom is afraid of rodents and stuff like that. So, growing up, I was never allowed to have like small rodent pets. So that's why we always had like dogs and cats, which of course I was fine with. Now, of course, I'm living on my own in my own apartment. We have 3 kitties, so that's fun. Do I think Clutch Powers is coming back? Yeah, I feel like he's going to make a return in season 14. His voice actor has also been recording lines, so I have a feeling we will see him again. What Lego set should I get for Christmas? In terms of a Ninjago set, I highly recommend, if you can, the Kai Fighter, the Thunder Raider, or maybe even the new Destiny's Bounty. I know a lot of people are going to be getting that for Christmas too, the Legacy Bounty, so I'd recommend that one, honestly. It's a nice set. Uh, what are my thoughts of Dareth inheriting Moro's elemental power of wind? I don't know about that. If he does get the wind power, that could be fun. It could kind of be, I guess, a nice little callback to his, I guess, role as the Brown Ninja in season 2 when Kai told him that his power was hot air. Or Kai and Nia told him. I think it was Nia. But yeah, overall, I feel like that'd be a nice little callback. Yeah, Legacy Thunder Raider is amazing. It's definitely one of the best sets, in my opinion, in recent years. Yeah, but I feel like if anyone's going to get the wind power, it should be little Nelson. I'm voting for him. I'm on Team Nelson for that. But yeah. But no, the Kai Fighter is a cool set too. Um, I'd recommend either of those. Honestly, with the upcoming Legacy stuff, Ninjago's at a pretty good spot, I'd say. They got a lot of new sets coming out that I actually want, so that's fun. I can't remember an actual wave of Ninjago that came out where I actually want to get a lot of the sets, but I know for sure that in the next wave I want to get the Titan Mech, the Tournament of Elements, maybe the X1 Charger. I definitely want to get the Overlord Dragon too. So I feel like there are a lot of good sets coming out for Ninjago. I definitely am going to be spending a little bit of money on Ninjago stuff when the new Legacy Wave drops. I just hope it's in January, like it usually is. I hope we don't have to wait until February, but if we do, I'll be patient. I hope Lil Nelson breaks his neck, not his legs. Oh my gosh. I don't think that. Little Nelson's been in a lot of injuries, though. If you saw his episode in season 11, they kind of pan across all of his pictures on the wall. He's been through a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, I feel like he should get the wind power out of anybody. I'm on Team Little Nelson. How has Clutch Powers returned from the teapot in the last episode of Prime Empire? Who's to say? I'm not so sure. That plot line, I think Clutch Powers just kind of tripped over it, got stuck in it, somehow got himself out. Who really knows about that? All I know is that his voice actor has been recording new lines, so he will be coming back in a future season. So we all have that to look forward to. Clutch Powers isn't my favorite season, or my favorite character rather. So I hope they make him a little bit better in future uh, seasons and stories. What about Spinjitzu Merge, kind of like a fusion? That could work out. I feel like overall, the art of Spinjitzu does a couple of different things that we haven't seen yet. I feel like there are more secrets to be unlocked, especially with Season 13 introducing the Spinjitzu Burst. Maybe we could see more stuff later on, but I feel like that's a good idea. Of course, the ninja have fused Spinjitzu before with the Tornado of Creation and whatnot, so maybe they could do it like, in groups of two. Maybe that could work. That's actually an interesting concept. Maybe they'll do something with that. Who knows? What if we had a Dareth focus season? I don't know about that. I feel like the day that they introduce a Dareth season, that's probably going to be the last season that they do. What do you think of Dareth's ability to talk to animals? I think he's faking it. He doesn't actually have the ability. And even if he did have that power, what would you classify that as? Like, what would his element be? Like, like forest or animals? Like, animals isn't an element. Maybe telepathy? I don't know. We already have the Master of Nature, so what else could you actually give Dareth in terms of an actual power? Like, what would you label his ability to talk to animals as, if that's actually a real power that he has? Like, what would you call that? The elemental power of the animal kingdom? I don't know. What's the darkest season? Either season 8 or season 9. Those two seasons are pretty much right up there in terms of darkness. Um, Yeah, the shark was just scared off by a crazy man making noises. Exactly. But no, in terms of a dark season, yeah, season 8 or season 9, I'd say. They've got a lot of darker moments. Season 8 definitely bumped up the maturity level for Ninjago, so really thankful about that. I hope that newer seasons can kind of adapt to that a little bit more. Master of Anima. Yeah, fair enough. What if Lloyd had a brother? See, I don't know. I feel like a bunch of people kind of want Lloyd to have like some type of sibling. I don't really think that he should, honestly. I feel like just overall, the whole sibling dynamic for Lloyd isn't really possible because of his heritage and his power. I feel like overall, if he were to have, I guess, a sibling, it would kind of throw off a lot of what we know about Ninjago. So I hope he actually doesn't get one, if we're being honest. But if he does have one, then I guess I'll take back my words. Lloyd has siblings, 5 older siblings. Ah, touche. Fair enough. Yeah, the 5 older ninja, the 5 guardians. Who's my favorite elemental master, not including the ninja? Either Skylar, she's really cool, easily one of my favorite characters. I actually also really like Neuro. Karloff's cool too. Um, I don't know, just some of the other elemental masters are fine. I like Moro as well. Moro, he's a pretty cool elemental master. I don't know, there are a couple of good elemental masters to choose from. They're not all terrible. Some of them are better more than others, but I don't know. A lot of them just aren't too terrible in my opinion. They're all pretty good. Can't really go wrong with any of them. What if Lloyd inherited destruction instead of creation? Well, luckily he kind of inherited an unholy fusion, if you will, of a whole bunch of different elements and stuff. So, but if he inherited destruction, I feel like he could have actually succeeded in his dream of becoming the new Dark Lord after his father. So, unfortunately for Lloyd, Garmadon wasn't always fully evil until season 8, and even then, now he's kind of gained back a little bit of his humanity. Yeah, we can run season 8 and 9 pictures. I have them set as one file on my in my folders, so seasons 8 and 9 are going to be connected. So hope that's okay. But yeah, sometimes I go off on a tangent, and sometimes it's kind of difficult for me to recognize when the background's been up for a long time. So thank you guys for reminding me. Which character would I like to see come back? Definitely Garmadon. Garmadon should come back more than anybody. Do I think a new wind ninja was appearing? I feel like they could introduce a new wind ninja eventually because the elemental power of wind, I guess, is going to someone else now. So I'm not so sure who it's going to go to. I'm not so sure who has it. All I know is that someone has it already in Ninjago, laying dormant. So maybe we'll see them before the end of the series. Maybe not. Who's to say? Um, Ronan or Kai, who would Skylar choose? Definitely Kai. I don't think Ronan and Skylar even have any type of relationship, if we're being honest. It's a very minimal one, if that. They have that one scene in the diner together, or in the Chen's noodle house together, but I don't think that's anything to be worried about. I feel like Skylar's still going to pick Kai overall, so I don't think that there's any type of connection between Ronan and Skylar. I think they're just kind of friends in that way. They've teamed up in season 6 as well, but I don't know. I don't think that there's anything um, outside of that relationship with them. I don't think they're going to be together or anything like that. I feel like they're fine. I remember thinking for the longest time, back when season 5 was first coming out, I remember thinking that Ronan was Kai and Nia's father because we hadn't seen him yet. So I remember thinking a long time ago that Ronan was Kai and Nia's parents or their father. Wow, Jordan's World with the $9.99 donation. Thank you very, very much for that. Merry Christmas, Tanner. Here's a gift. Stay safe and keep up your great work on your channel. I shall always be a fan of Ninjago and you. Dude, thank you very much for the donation. That's awesome. Big shout out to Jordan's World for that donation. Thank you very, very much. That will go towards food and groceries. Thank you very, very much. And we also have another donation from Ben, $1.99. Thank you very much. Who is better, Pythor or Klaus? I like Klaus as a character a little more. Thank you for the donation, Ben. And thank you once again, Jordan's World, for the $9.99 donation. That actually means quite a bit. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat. But yeah, big shout out to Jordan's World in the chat, guys. Everyone put some hype in the chat for Jordan's World. Absolute lad. Thank you very much. But yeah, that actually made my day. Thank you very much, man. That means a lot. What's my favorite set of all time? The movie Destiny's Bounty is my favorite. Absolutely one of my favorite sets of all time. But yeah, thanks a lot to Ben as well for the donation. Honestly, anyone that donates, thank you very much. It always helps out, always goes towards groceries and food and financial stability. So thank you very much, everyone who donates. And even you guys being here is super great too. So thank you very much for tuning in and, liking the video and liking all my stuff and, hanging out with me in the streams. It all just means a lot. So thank you very much. But yeah, thank you especially towards the folks who donated. Thank you guys very much. It means a lot to me. If I could inherit one elemental power, what would I choose? Either lightning or ice. I was kind of thinking about it a little more too. Honestly, the power of water would be pretty fun to have as well. I always say lightning or ice, but water I feel like could be a pretty fun element too. Yeah, water isn't actually all that bad. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. In terms of like Christmas plans, what do you guys have planned for the holidays? I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, so what do you guys have planned for the holidays? Let's get some answers from you guys in the chat. I feel like I'm the only one answering questions here. But no, in all seriousness, I understand what this is. But yeah, once again, big shout out to Jordan's World, man. You're the best. Thank you. But yeah, what do you guys have planned for the holidays? Let's see some answers in the chat. Hanging out with parents. Plan to wear a Santa Claus hat. I got mine on my desk right here. Gonna wear that when I go visit my family. It's gonna be a fun time. Absolutely nothing. Family time. Yeah. Overall, I think Christmas is gonna be pretty good this year. I personally celebrate Christmas. Not sure about you guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it this year. It's gonna be fun. Going to have a little get together with my family and watch many Christmas movies and more. Awesome. Yeah, I've been watching Christmas movies the past couple of nights too. Pretty soon we're going to be watching Home Alone. Nothing because of COVID. Yeah, that's fair enough. I understand that COVID might put of a little bit of a setback on some people's plans this go around. So apologies if that's the case with you guys. Yeah, usually we used to have like a big get together with all of my family, but past couple of years we've kind of haven't been doing that, so just kind of been sticking with our closer family. So we're gonna be doing that again this year. So sounds like you guys are getting some pretty good plans to go around. Home Alone is one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. Yeah, it's pretty good. My favorites are Die Hard, Jingle All the Way, and Home Alone. I try to watch those most years, I'd say. Die Hard we've kind of been slacking with, but Die Hard we actually watched again just recently, and it's awesome. And I do consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie, depending on, or no matter what some people say. Some people don't think that it is, but I think that it is. So sue me. Watching your vids in Ninjago on Netflix. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Christmas this year. I'm looking forward to it. I already did all my Christmas shopping and whatnot, so. Did I ever watch an animated Christmas movie called Annabelle's Wish? Yeah, that was pretty much one of my childhood movies. Me and my mom watched that all the time, or my mother and I, if you want to be grammatically correct. But no, we watched that all the time when I was young. It's kind of a sweet movie. In case you guys haven't seen it, it's kind of about like a cow that wants to fly like a reindeer, and then she eventually does. So that's fun. It's a very nice and sweet, wholesome Christmas film. We only have a few minutes left of the stream, so if you guys wanted to put some rapid fire questions in the chat as well, we can use that to round out the stream until we finally conclude here. So let's see what you guys got for a couple more questions. I feel some more people are talking about the amulets in the chat. Yeah, the new amulets that are going to be the main, I guess, MacGuffin in Ninjago season 14. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them yet. There's not a whole lot of information about them, but I feel like they are going to be a very interesting item overall. The actual designs are fine. They kind of remind me a little bit of Lego Atlantis. So that's pretty much what I saw first from that. In case you guys don't remember what Lego Atlantis is. So, am I having a good day? Yeah, so far I've been able to shower and hang out with you guys on stream, so that's fun. And you guys make my day, so make my day better. So thank you guys for that. But yeah, reminds me a lot of Atlantis. Christmas Whip Christmas Whip or the Departed Whip. I cannot talk. I kind of like the Christmas Whip, if we're being honest. That's actually grown on me quite a lot. So, yes, Merry Whipmas to everybody. I really want the new Kai Fighter or the Thunder Raider. Yeah, those two are very great. I would definitely recommend either of those. Um, why has Kai never defeated a villain alone, like a main villain? That's a good question. I don't think it has anything to do with Kai's, I guess, inability to be an actual ninja. I just feel like he hasn't had the chance yet to defeat a main bad guy on his own just yet. So, um, maybe that's why they did that. Atlantis will be Nia's season. Yeah, it could be. Maybe that could lead into, I guess, the summertime season, where it's going to be like an underwater environment with the amulets and some type of Atlantis setting. That could work for, um, that could work for Nia, for being honest. Do I want a Lego Ninjago movie 2 where they get more updates? Um, yeah, I would prefer another Ninjago movie, for being honest, but I don't think that we will get one just because of the kind of critical and financial failure of the first Ninjago movie. So I'd be surprised if we get any Lego movies anytime soon. The Lego movies as they are right now are just kind of done. So do or did you have the NRG-J minifigure? No, I never got that. The only NRG figure that I have right now is Kai. I don't have any of the other ones, so I don't really need them for my collection, in my opinion, because they are supposed to be, I guess, the true potential versions of the Ninja, but they're not really all that accurate. I mean, there are some better, I guess, figures out there for Ninjago. I really like the NRG Ninja, but they're not accurate to the show, so I don't feel a need to get them. Vanya or Nia, I prefer Vanya. Um, yeah, the Lego Movie rights as well have also went back to Universal, I think. I don't think Warner Bros. Has them anymore, so it's going to be an interesting, I guess, couple of years to see what these Lego movies do end up being like. So, yeah, we're not going to be seeing them anytime soon. What's my favorite season? I love season 4 of Ninjago. That's my all-time favorite season. Nothing else that has come out since has topped it. So, let's answer one more question before we round out the stream. One more. I'll take a sip of my water to let some of the questions flow. All right. Let's see. What if Lloyd, what if Lloyd were bitten by a werewolf? I don't know about that, man. Did Warner Bros. Leave Ninjago? Warner Bros. Is kind of done with the whole, I guess, Lego scene in my knowledge. I don't know a whole lot about that, but all I know for sure is that the Lego rights kind of went to Universal. So I'm not too sure about what that means. I know that if they were to make another Lego movie, that they wouldn't have access to a couple of other, I guess, characters that the Warner Bros. Lego movies had. So I don't think that that's gonna be a thing anytime soon. And in terms of how I'm feeling all right. Definitely feeling a little better since I started streaming. So that'll pretty much do it for this stream. Yeah, apologies for the sniffling this go around. I am a little sick, got a little bit of a cold going on. Usually happens this time of the year for me. But in terms of the streaming information, that's what we got going on. For those of you guys that want to do the hug end of the stream tradition, let's go through that right now. I will start it off in the chat. You guys can follow. But yeah, in terms of the streaming information, this is what we got going on today. Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time with an episode review and a Q&A. And we'll update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I'll let you guys know. Tomorrow's stream, we're going to be talking about episode 28 of Ninjago, The Art of the Silent Fist. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. In the meantime, that'll pretty much do it for this stream here today. Thank you very much for a tremendous stream. Thank you guys so much for all the hugs in the chat, too. Look at all that. Lots of positivity. Good stuff. That's what I like to see, a positive note to end the stream on. But in all seriousness, you guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who donated once again. It helps out the channel very much. It helps out my personal life too. Helps me buy food. So Thank you very much. Going grocery shopping later today. So thank you guys very much for the donations. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Even you guys being here and helping out in any way, goes a long way. So thank you guys very much. I'm going to go ahead and get started with a few more videos, making some videos for tomorrow, and also stay tuned on the channel. There are a couple more videos coming out today for you guys. So once again, I will see you guys in tomorrow's stream, and hopefully you guys have a great rest.